Welcome back to Speak Up, everyone. I'm Natasha Brown. With unemployment rates rising from month to month these days, many people are finding themselves out of a job. Joining me now is image consultant, motivational speaker, and author Renee Smith. Thank you so much for being here with us.
My pleasure.
Glad to have you here.
Yes.
So what do you tell people who've been laid off recently or in the past? I mean, how do you tell them to keep motivated, keep going? What do you tell them, actually?
Good question, Tasha. First, I think it's important for people to feel it. Having been fired myself,
well, there you go. You got to live it to understand. Yeah, I understand.
Absolutely. Having been fired myself, I think it's important to feel it.
Yeah.
You feel rejected. You feel that you've been done wrong. You wonder what's next. There's a feeling of confusion, etc. So it's important to feel those emotions.
Yeah.
Once you feel them, move forward. Because the reality is, firing isn't about being fired. It's about transition. Mm-hmm. And everything in life is really about the mind and how you see it. If you see it as a firing, then that's what it's going to be. But if you see it as a new path that life is presenting to you, a chance to transform, to transition, and go to another level, that's what it's going to be. Yeah. So I encourage them to feel it. Secondly, I ask them, what problem do you solve in life? And they're like,
That's
what
a good
problem
question. Let's think on that. Yeah, well, tell me why you asked that question.
I asked that question because many people get jobs because the resume says, I do this, 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 and this. Well, today, I think it's really about what problem do I solve, because companies aren't hiring people, they're hiring solutions. So it's important to know what problem you solve. Once you understand what problem you solve or what problem you want to solve, it's important to look at what you're passionate about, because you want to be able to translate those skills, your past, into where you're going next.
Yeah, and tell me how you seek people out or how they seek you out, and who the people are that are seeking you out. I mean, not just people who have been laid off or fired, but tell me about some other people that you help. You know what,
it's interesting because a huge market of mine is corporations and colleges and universities. Corporations, they have a lot of workplace disturbances, and so they're trying to decrease those. And in doing that, they hire me to work with their employees for, say, 6 to 8 months on decreasing their workplace disturbances so that they can retain their employees and or increase productivity. So that's one part of my client base. Secondly would be colleges and universities. As you probably know, retention is a huge issue. Yeah. And so preparing them for their college experience, but also preparing them for the job market so that they don't get fired.
Well, that's a good thing. That's a good start.
Yeah, yeah. So that's how people, how typically I meet people. And then the one-on-ones come basically because somebody will say, hey, I read your book, or, you know, she has worked with our company, and that's how I get the one-on-ones.
Well, tell us about your book.
The book is called There Is More Inside, and it's a book I talk about being fired, and basically I talk about life transitions, and that each time you are presented with a transition, you feel like my life is over, and that you felt that way, huh?
At some point, yes. I think we probably all have.
Absolutely. Yeah. When you feel like your life is over, how do you handle it, and how do you see it, and what attitude are you going to take? And what, you know, people have said, I don't know who said it, but I'm going to repeat it, what you focus on gets bigger. So if you focus on the problem gets bigger. If you focus on the solution, where you're going, what you're passionate about, then that's what's going to get bigger. And so that's what the book is about. The book is about uncovering the courage to move forward, even when you're down. And of course, it's always going within.
Wow. And what does this do for you? Just being out here, you know, being a motivational speaker, sharing your experience and motivating other people.
Natasha, it's awesome. I will share that I am on this path because I was fired. I literally, when I was fired, I took 2 weeks off. 30 days before being fired, my fiance walked out of my life. So I had 2 jobs.
Yeah.
I had 2 jobs, and I went down for the count, and I went down for 2 weeks. I was diagnosed as being depressed. Got back up after 2 weeks, really spent some time figuring out how to move, how to go within. And after that, I said, you know what? I'm going to spend my life writing books and motivating people. What does it do for me? 98% of the people that I work with go to the next level. When I see them going back to school, when I see them buying homes, buying cars, when I see people doing what they're passionate about or taking risks, taken a chance on themselves, it is so gratifying. I realize that that's what I'm here to do.
Wow. Well, we're so happy that you could be here to share your story with us.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
It's good to be here.
We'll have you back, don't worry.
Thank you. Sounds good.
Well, that's going to wrap up this week's edition of Speak Up, everyone. For more information on today's topics, visit us online at cwphilly.com. I'm Natasha Brown. Thanks so much for watching. Take care.